Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Learning with Jelly. Today, on day 29, we're going to talk about how you can showcase some of the things that you have learned throughout this challenge. So, we're going to start by discussing the platforms that you can utilize to showcase your learnings, your projects, build an online brand, etc. And then, for those who haven't worked with GitHub, we're going to hop into GitHub and show a very brief example of how you can get started with GitHub and showcase your work. So, if you are new to the 30-day challenge, because this is the first video that you have clicked on, welcome. We're so happy to have you. There's 28 days of SQL content before this video that is stored in the topic list, as well as the playlist on YouTube and supplemental resources, as well as a Facebook support group where you can ask questions, find study buddies, and more. So let's hop into ways that you can showcase your learnings. So if you haven't had a LinkedIn, or you do not have one, or you have been inactive for years, it's about time that you start getting active again. So posting about what you have learned on LinkedIn in short posts, or making carousels, which are just LinkedIn friendly PowerPoints where you can post some of your learnings, sharing a relevant article. Say, for instance, you find an article about AI in film, or you find an article about data being used in athletics or ethical use of data. You can share it. This shows employers that you are serious, that you're thinking about pivoting to the data industry, and it helps build your presence and online brand. So I encourage you, no matter what it is, to start LinkedIn, give yourself a goal, even if it's posting twice a week, to post. And you have things like ChatGPT and Gemini to help you come up with posts. So nowadays, there's no excuse that you shouldn't be posting on LinkedIn. You also can write a blog about what you have learned. I have a Medium account. I'm going to link it in the description below so you can see how I write blogs. But you can talk about your transition from being a chef to a data analyst, and how you didn't realize there was so much data available for food until you've actually explored the data doing X, Y, and Z. The more personable you can make it, the better. Okay, and you can also provide images and snippets of code inside the blog as well to showcase that you can actually do the technical work. But like I said, use AI to help you brainstorm some ideas. There's also GitHub pages. You can create your own website, etc. GitHub is probably the most popular one that people use for technical projects, where you can showcase the code as well as the data, and provide any insights that you have. And there's so many more. Kaggle now has its own portfolio page that you can do. DataCamp has a portfolio page. DataSciencePortfolio.io has a portfolio page. Wix, you can build a website in there, or Canva can even help you with your portfolio. So really start researching some of these ways that you can showcase your learnings and get started. So now let's hop into GitHub real quick. And I'm just going to introduce this very briefly. And if you don't have a GitHub account, no worries. I'm going to link it in the description below. It is a free account. You may need to set up some security parameters, such as having like a access token as a password. But if you're just using this for your own projects and you're not collaborating yet, the basic settings should be fine for you. So the first thing I'm going to do is hit this plus sign, and I'm going to create a new repository. And I'm just going to give my repository a name. I'm going to call this test SQL, because I'm going to delete mine later. Now, the more descriptive you make your repository, the better. So since you know we've been using the Chinook database, which is a a music store, we can say analyzing music store data using SQL, or analyzing database data using SQL. Whatever you want to call it, make it descriptive so when employers are looking at it, they know exactly what it is. Then you're going to want to actually link your repositories on your resume. So if you have a skills section and your skill says SQL, you can put a link to the repository right next to it in parentheses. Or if you have a technical project section, you can put a link that says GitHub right next to it in the parentheses. So make your repository very descriptive. You're going to make it public, and I'm going to click add a README file. And I'm going to create that repository. Now, when I create the repository, it gives me this where I have a file called README. And normally, README files are just an overview of the actual project. So I'm going to hit this little edit button and I'm going to type. So right now, my project is called Test SQL. I'm going to call this, let's say, and I'm going to add a little preview button here. You can go back and forth to preview. I'm going to say analysis of music store data using SQL. And then anytime you want a next heading, you can put this double pound sign. This is what we call markdown, where say for instance here, I could do an overview of the project. I can then talk about my insights, and then I can talk about my recommendations based off of my insights. So this shows that you have some business expertise as well. So you can add this in, and like I said, the overview, you can put regular text here. This project utilized SQLite to analyze music store data to gather insights about customers, invoices, sales, and more. Okay. And you can expand on this or use an AI to help you write this. And then for your insights, you can put the questions that you ask. So, say for instance, your insights, top customers to target based off of most sales. And here you can showcase an image or like a little screenshot of the actual code itself. So say for instance, I want to showcase, I'm just going to put like a little SQL image. So I'm going to go to SQL here. Oh, let's do a SQLite Studio.pl. SQL images. SQL images so I can show you how to actually put an image. And I'm going to go to images. I like to hit more tools, and I like to look at the usage rights to do Creative Commons so I'm not stealing anybody's stuff. But it's in an academic project. I'm not selling it. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to copy image address, and then I'm just going to put this in bracket. I'm going to say SQL. And then here, I'm just going to copy this image address. Oh, this is a very long address. Let's look at a preview. Let's see if it actually even works. Ooh, I'm going to edit this. And I'm actually going to put an exclamation mark in front of that SQL and look at the preview. It's a broken image link. Did not like me doing that. Let me get another image because this one was not good. Let me copy it over here. Copy image address. You all kind of get the point that I'm trying to do here. And let me go ahead and just hit commit changes. Let me see what it does. If it breaks, it breaks. You can say update readme, commit changes. And yes, it does look like that it's actually breaking on me. What a bummer. Okay. So I can actually go edit this again and find another image that won't break. So let me turn off my tools. Not filtered by license. Let me try to do this one. Copy image address. And let's do this. Preview. Let me take out the exclamation mark. See if that works for us. Preview. Let me commit the changes. If we can't get an image, oh well. It's just an image. Okay, so we'll go back and troubleshoot that. Either way, this is how you can actually get a README. So you can hit test SQL or whatever the name of your repo is, and you can see everything that you've added. Now, you want to be able to add your queries and your data to this. So I'm going to put add file, okay? And I'm going to upload files. And I'm going to choose those queries that I actually had on my computer that I told you to save, the Chinook query being one. I'm going to open this. And then I'm going to commit changes. And just right here is going to be my code. So when I actually click on that, I see all of the code that I have done, and it shows that I can do joins, I can use aggregate functions, and more. You're also going to want to make sure that you upload the actual database itself, so you can upload another file. Choose files, downloads. I think I have it in my downloads where the Chinook database is. If not, that's perfectly fine. Yep. Chinook SQLite database. I'm going to open this. It's a small database, so I can commit it. However, for big databases, you don't want to actually commit it to GitHub because it might time yourself out. Okay. But this is how you can get started of actually showcasing all of those queries. If you don't know how to get started with that, make sure you're in SQLite Studio. Make sure in SQLite Studio that you click save. So you want to do save as and actually save this as a .sql file. And then you can upload that on GitHub. So, thank you all for tuning in with Learning with Jelly. This has been a very fun series. I'm going to finish it out with one last video, just recapping everything that we have learned. But for now, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to drop my Etsy and buy me a coffee in the description below. Thank you so much. Bye bye.